All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's it going? We're back after about a week. Sorry. We had technical issues, personal issues. We had a lot of stuff. We have a new friend to help us with our development. I'm very excited to introduce them. We have a Godot bot. See if I can get him to wave his hand. This little plushie arrived in the mail. It's like really adorable. Just very excited about that. Sorry. A little sniffly this morning. But yeah, we're back at it. I didn't do nothing last week. I worked on the doors a lot. I worked on the door pixel art, the animations and sprites and stuff. And now I just gotta get it in the game, so we can focus on doing that. So this looks identical to anyone who's seen it before, but I swear there's like different versions of the door now. This is the single door, and there's a flipped version of it that's looking at this from like another angle. Because if you just flip H this, you don't get the actual opposite angle as far as like this door is not, you know, symmetrical. I mean, it has asymmetry to it, but it has a symmetry to it, but it's not completely symmetrical. So if we're looking at it from like the opposite side, we needed an alternative drawing of it, which was a little tricky because these lines only really work one way really well, so the other version of it looks more like this. It's like a slightly different line, but it's about as good as I could get. So I had to redraw it, redo the animation for the single door, and then the double door was like even more work, because the double door needed the upper and the lower sections to be split, and it needed 2 views for each. I love how I never feel allergic until I go live, and then I'm instantly like incredibly allergic. It's very weird. It's like it was waiting for me. I also forgot about my coffee while I was eating breakfast, so I just have this full cup of coffee here. So I'm gonna be drinking that. But everything else still works, hopefully, he says. All of the stuff we had before should all still work. All our good drawn stuff. Yeah, we can do rooms, draw rooms within rooms. All the auto tiling works. We need to incorporate doors, and so I've been thinking about some different ways to incorporate the doors into the drawing system. So we're gonna just work our way through that. So part of that is going to be, I think, honestly, the way I want to do this, because we could do this a couple different ways. Like if we go to the tile set, which is now in the environment, in the hull stack, down here, the hull default. Should probably have a tile set folder for the default tiles. I'm still considering implementing all of my stuff as like a mod, so that you could do total conversion stuff rather than include all my files in this folder system, but I haven't totally thought about how to do that yet, because that would involve using the user folder, which would make this project less portable. So I don't know. Like I'd maintain a user file everywhere. I guess I could have a spoofed one or something. I don't know. But for now, all the default assets are going to be here in the project, in the resources, which makes sense. So if we look at the tile set, we were going to just add a scene collection, which involves just placing nodes just straight up in the tile. But the problem for us with doing that is that, like, here's the double door scene. This door could be many different doors. It could be this one, which we call the upper regular. And the upper regular has a counterpart known as the upper flipped. It's the same door section, but from the other side. And then we also have, obviously we have, you know, complementary like lower sections. There's the regular lower. And the flipped lower. So this door could form, this door will need to move, you know, we'll need to change its sprite, which is one thing, that's easy. But it becomes different components of the door. So it's like, if I just did this where I had, you know, a scene for each side of the door, that's no good. So we need just a double door segment that we can just easily change the characteristics of. And that's a little hard when you're doing it like in the tile set while constantly rebuilding, because we basically need to spawn, we need to set the tile, which would be to put one of these doors here. Then we need to grab the scene, the node that is that door, and we need to start messing around with it. And if we change the tile map, then we need to change all the nodes associated with all the different door segments. So I think what I want to do, at least in the building mode, is have a proxy, have just an atlas, tile atlas proxy that encodes the information that we need for the door, because it's easier to change rapidly. Hey Cubus, how's it going? Long time no stream. Space ahoy. I like the distinction. Eventually I'll have like a rocket ship version of my like ship it emote, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. All right, so let's put together this. We don't want to open it. We need to make a new file. We're going to put together a tile atlas for our door proxies. Doing apart from little sleep, same. I like tried to wake up earlier and I like just went right back to sleep for another hour. My body was like, we refuse. We refuse to get up this early. But who needs sleep? We can sleep when we're dead. So we probably want, so I need to decide how I'm going to structure this. We basically have 6 door components. There's this door, there's the flip door. No, there's this door, the flip door, and then alternative versions of both of those. And then with the double door, there's 4 pieces of the double door, and obviously there's also flipped, or I shouldn't have named these flipped. Should have named them like rotated or something. I like have regular versions of these door components, and then I have quote unquote flipped versions. That's confusing because flip H is also something we're gonna use. But whatever, who cares? What's in a name? That'll bother me. Maybe I'll rename them at some point. But we're gonna make a proxy, a door proxy tile set source ID, so that we can just encode the segments of a door that we're using as tiles, instead of having to spawn in these nodes. That way we can just spawn in the nodes when we load when we load a ship design, instead of trying to do it and then manage them while we're in building mode. Doing it while we're in building mode seems like trouble. So how do we want to do this? We could use the y-axis. We could use a source ID number for whether you're a single or a double door. And then we could use the X and the Y axes for other things. We could just use alt tiles to simplify quite a bit. Hey, Ferlansky. Yeah, we're alive. I don't know. I'm gonna make this single big tile set. And we'll just start throwing doors in here. And then we'll figure out how to pack it in a minute. Pallets. How are you doing, Ferlansky? We're good. I fixed my computer last night. I got a different set of RAM that's both more performant and also a little less ambitious. My initial memory configuration for this computer was like over ambitious and introduced a lot of instability. This new configuration is good and seemingly completely stable under Expo, which is pretty great. The last set of RAM I got could only had an XMP profile, which was very much not stable. So I had to like do everything myself, and it was not good. This new memory just works out of the box with Expo 1. It's good stuff. All right, so let's start opening doors. Grab this door. So we want the single door, and then we want each of the components of the double door. Since we're painting these doors with the auto tiler, we need them to be like very flexible. We need to be able to just change the representations very easily. Let's do like this. Oh, we also need the inner or outer. Right. Okay, so we need 8 for the double door then. And then we use alternate tiles to do the flip H. And we need 4 for the single doors. You've been very lucky with your memory. One 4 gigabyte stick and one 16 gigabyte stick. That's not supposed to be how that works. But if it works, yeah, my last set was 64 gigabytes over 2 sticks. And it was just unstable at the speeds and the timings I was trying to run it on. So I downgraded to 32 gigs. So my memory is faster now. It's better. It's lower latency and faster. I don't have the full capacity, but I also don't do like video, like intense video editing and like compositing and stuff. So I don't think I'm ever going to need that much memory. I kind of wanted it for like maybe like VM stuff just to have a lot of memory, but I don't know. I'll be able to live without it, I think. All right, so we have a bunch of door chunks that we need to take. The other question is how we're going to... I think we need two different... Oh no, we can put them on the same atlas and just do different... This is going to be a pain in the ass to maintain, but it should be fine. Honestly, we should maybe consider putting this on the Hull Atlas. On this one, we have a bunch of extra space. Because I'm really trying to keep... I'm trying to keep the maintainability of different types of designs, of different hull designs, like to make them very simple so that like I can just plug in a whole different atlas and just totally swap stuff out. So like we've got tons of space on these, but that's because I wanted to be able to put alternative tiles. So would it be worth it to just make these even bigger? Probably not. Maybe. There's a quadrant here that we aren't using. We've got the first quadrant for the floors and the ceilings. We've got the second quadrant for the walls, the sides of the walls. We've got the third quadrant for the sides of the floors. We could use the fourth quadrant for doors. Oh no, we need all of this for this wall segment. I forgot that the walls are bigger. They're twice as big, so they need twice as much space as the other two. Yeah, we should probably just make it on its own sprite sheet. I've been running this 20 gigabyte setup for about 5 years. That's wild. For Lansky, we've done a bunch of different versions of our doors. Let me grab a combined version of the double door so we can at least see it in action. So we have our single door in two. I basically tried some different stuff with my doors. So like here's the old version of the door. It used what I'm calling a fixed outline. So the door, it's hard to see on the single door. It'll be super obvious on the double door, but it basically retracts along its outline without moving it. So we have new versions of the doors where the whole outline moves. I'm gonna show it on the double door. It's like very clear what's happening on the double door. So like here's the previous version of the double door where the door retracts along the outlines. And the outlines are fixed, like the top and bottom outlines, which I kind of like. But it doesn't feel like the door is moving as much as I want it to. So I redid them all using what I'm calling a loose outline that moves with the door. So it's a little bouncier, you get that bounce. But I also feel like there's this big door chunk moving. So I did that. And the thing is, what we also needed was we needed a flipped version of the door. So here's the same door, but viewed from the other side. So it's different line work. It's actually kind of shittier in every way. But unfortunately, really clean line work here does not translate. Like if you try to flip this the other way from the other view, you just have to come up with different things. So that was the best I managed to do. So we did that. So we have different versions of the door, mainly because we need this for camera rotation or ship rotation. Like if we rotate the view, we need to be able to see the other side of the door. And so we have that for the single door and the double door. The single door worked more easily, for sure. Yo, you like the bounce? Yeah, so I animated all these doors last week, so I at least got something done. But now, because I don't want to manage all of this stuff in terms of the 2-door scenes, the 2-door nodes, which this double door segment could be any of the segments of the doors. I was telling Cubus earlier. So it could be any segment. So rather than try to fiddle with the nodes during build time, like while we're building, and it could change rapidly, we're just going to build a proxy list of tiles and just use the proxies. So we just need to build a tile set for the proxies and then plug them into the auto tiler. So we need 4 copies of the door, of the single door here, and we need. So I'm just gonna start throwing stuff in the file, and then we'll arrange it and see what works. Let's just throw all the stuff in the file that we need. So here's a regular single door. Here's the inner version of the same door. Here's the flipped version. I think I will end up doing these as separate files. Yeah, more auto tiling. Yeah, we need to be able to draw the door. Like in the auto tiler, we need to be able to space doors out. We also need like an quote unquote invalid tile. Like I need to be able to draw a tile when there's a tile that's not valid, which is going to come up with the doors quite a bit. Like you might draw too many door tiles and it's broken. So I need to figure out what I want to do about that. So here's, oops. So here are these two. I should probably just call this one of these. Save this as door single proxy. My file system, my new file organization is failing me. I'm gonna put it in here with these sprites. All right, now let's do a double door segment. These are 32 by 32, and I need 8 of them. Can't believe after all the auto tiling issues, you'll still just say, just need to plug it in. So the different colors go to the different colored walls, symbolizing enclosed space. Exactly. Because that's what we have here. I mean, I say just plug it in because they're not really a special case of... I mean, they are a special case. But yeah, so the gray for the outside and the lighter gray color for the inside. But it'll be relatively easy to add these to this system now that we have it in place. I'm pretty sure I already wrote a bunch of code for this. Why is that so huge? There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already wrote a bunch of door logic somewhere. Is it here? Yeah, we already have the logic for determining what type of door is where. We just need some sprites to plug in, and we need to rewrite this part, the get atlas coords part, which we originally weren't going to use, but I'm kind of glad we will now. So this becomes not get hall types, but get door tiles. So we need 8 of these, I said? Is that what I said? How do I want to organize this? So when I did this one, I have outer than inner. And so I'm using y-axis to determine the flip, and I'm using the x-axis for the color. For the double door, we also have an additional axis, which is whether you're the lower or upper segment of the door. So we can continue to use y-axis for the flip. We'll need to use x-axis for both the hull type and whether you're the upper or lower segment. Which is fine, because we can just use odd numbers for hull type and even numbered jumps for segment. So in that case, I need 64 by 128. In which case, we really could have just put this all on the same sprite, huh? Sprite sheet. Whatever, who cares? If we can combine it later, we will. But for now, we're not worried about optimization. I get preoccupied with optimization sometimes. And it really doesn't matter in this case. All right, so we're going to do, let's do lower first. Oh, Lord. That looks cool. I forgot these are indexed, so I have to change the palette first. Let's actually grab the door. We may or may not pack these in more tightly than we've got here. But how's everyone doing? I'm upset at the fact that Ludum Dare is this weekend and I won't be able to do it. But it's okay. I'll survive. We'll be back. We'll be back another time. Do some Ludum Dare next year. All right, so here's all the pieces of the double door that we need. We really could just mix this with the single door level. But it is more straightforward to do them separately, so we'll do them separately. So we'll call this door double proxy. Throw this in here. And export the file. Same with this one. Were you trying to export? Same folder, pretty beautiful. Hey, Moth, how's it going? It's been a while. It's good to see you. All right, so let's add these to the tile set. This one, here. All right, so what do we got? We got 12 and 13. You know what I didn't leave myself any room for is like the invalid tile analysis thing. But I guess we can achieve that with just like a modulate. We can just modulate the color into like being ridiculous. I eventually want a sprite for an invalid door. So let's make a new one, a new atlas. Let's grab the single door proxy. This one. Yeah, sure. All right. Texture region is 32 by 32. Actually, I guess it's not. It's less than that, huh? It's at 20. It's 30 by 24 with some padding and some margins. There we go. I think that's the correct way to do it. It sits in the middle. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's gonna take a little while for me to get this matched up here correctly. We'll just draw it out a little bit. See what looks right. Let's get the other one in here though. Actually, I need to add all of these texture origins. Texture origin should be like this, probably. That looks about right. I'll add one more atlas. It's going to be the door double proxy. Double door proxy. Eventually I'll figure out how to throw all of these on like approximately the same file thing. So these maybe stay like this. These ones are the tricky ones in my mind. Also, need to remove tiles outside the texture. Not really sure how to space these. We're just gonna need to play around with it. Doors are a little weird. Let's try to draw some. Just in whatever. We're just gonna make, let's just make a new Make a new tile map layer for testing. Why is this one a different color than the rest of them? Oh. That's just weird. I don't know where this one is, but let's just... Actually, what we should do... We should just use one of these. Oh no, this one has a different... What we should do is we should copy it, bust it out here, rename it, testing, change the tile set, because we want all the isometric settings that we're normally used to using here. Okay, what the... This song is weird. All right, and then we'll just erase everything. And then just draw our doors and see what makes sense. Oh, this is gonna be really hard to do in a way that looks right. Take the eraser off. Oh, I need the pencil tool. Okay, this looks right. This looks right. It sits in the middle. So this is correct. Less sure about the double doors. Let's see if we can make a door. That's too far back is what that is. Let's add the top. Okay, and the top is like really far away. Okay, so that is wrong. How to make it right. This one is the most right, so this one just needs to be over and down a bit. And then this one needs to be also over and down. All right. Let's just adjust the tile set until we get the look that we want. This should adjust in real time, right? If I start messing with this. Yeah, okay. So minus 412, that looks about right. Oh god. How did I... Oh, I clicked on that different layer. Here we go. And let's fix this one. Or... These also need to have... Is this door fully extended? Or did I pick... I picked the wrong frame, didn't I? Did I? I did. I picked frame 8. What the fuck is wrong with me? And I picked frame 6. Great. That's why this is wrong. I'm like, wait, this doesn't look right. This door doesn't fucking add. That's fine.
It's about making it feel right.
No, it is about making it accurate. Person in the music box. That's fine. Super easy thing to fix. I was like, these doors don't add up.
If it's an accident that's an error that feels good, then you leave it in. You know, you want those.
All right, these look better. These are like much more full. I've spent a whole week working on these doors and I didn't realize what I did. I was just like, yeah, that's approximately a door.
It's not a thing about making it accurate.
These are much fuller.
But it's not a thing about making it accurate. It's not about getting all the errors out. It's about getting it to do it.
All right, that's much better. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. So I think this one is still correct. I think this one is wrong. Yeah, it is. There we go. Way too easy to accidentally click that. Okay. Is it far enough forward? Probably. What's hard, what makes this hard is I can't exactly test against the other, like I can throw a wall here, I guess. Oh, in the tile map. I could throw up a wall here and see if it fits.
If it's an accident that's an error that feels good, then you leave it in.
Okay, so
You know, you
can't
want those.
fucking see these. There we go, get that out of there. So it's off still. This is too far over here somehow. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's correct. What if we switch to this one? Does that match up? More or less? Not exactly though, huh? I think this is right. It looks pretty much right. It looks a little weird. I think it's correct still. I maybe need to fix this part. So when I drew it, I didn't account for the fact that it was going to be butted up against a wall like this. So this should actually probably be a little more, should be less clunky there, the outlines. But that's fine. I can fix that. I don't really care about that. Or at least it's not a priority. So let's just try this. Kind of just want to see it in action more than anything else. And then we just need to fix... We need to make sure the other side works as well. So we need to swap that with this one and swap that with this one. And now we just need to dial these two in. Get this door looking right. Oh god, what did I do? I fucking scrolled on the scroll bar. Alright, so this should be... This one is 410. Is this also going to be 410? Probably. Okay, at first glance, that looks right. Oh, now what we need are alt tiles. So we need to go back to the tile set and we need to make a bunch of alt tiles. And these are all just going to be flip H'd. Same with the double door proxies. We just grab all of them. Just flip H them. And that's it. That's all the tiles we need. Oh, they don't carry over their texture origin, I guess. Okay. We gotta reapply the texture origin. Oh god, what did I just do? Get out. Not letting me shift click them, who cares? Just do it. I had all of these. I should have. Actually, I guess they do different things. So let's draw a couple of these. Make sure I get these right. That's not quite right. That's it. All right, not totally convinced I got this right, but it looks right. Get rid of that testing node. Turn these back on. All right, now we just need to plug this in so that this part can happen. So we calculate the door tiles fully. We get all of this information about the door. We get information about what hull type it is. We get information about whether it's a single or it's a double door. We get information about whether it's a Y or an X. So for this case, we need to know whether we're the upper or lower as well. So like if we're a double door, we need to figure it out. Do we do that at this stage? Or do we do that at like the Atlas chord stage? I think we can just do it here in the Atlas chord stage. I don't think we need to have a flag for whether you're the upper or lower component of a door. So we did this part. We did this get door tiles part. Now we reset tile IDs. We erase the cells. And then we set tile cells. So then set tile cells is way down here. That's the same. So our complication is here. Reset tile IDs. This is what we need to figure out. Reset tile IDs. We clear it. We go through. We make a new tile for all the tiles in our... So in hull types is wrong because we don't have hull types. What we do have is door tiles. Door tiles. So for chord and door tiles. Then we get source ID. So get source ID. So source ID is going to be 12 or 13. So it's going to be 12 if door tiles chords dot type. Door tiles dot type is flag dot, or it's going to be door flag dot door dot double. This shouldn't be a flag. Because you aren't going to ever have more than one. You're not going to ever be both a double door and a single door. Or you're no... I guess you could be a double door and invalid. So I guess that's true. Else 13. Or if single, you're single. That's fine. That's a little gross that I'm hard coding in the tile indexes, but for now, that's okay. Oh, we got ads in a minute. Take a little break. Take a stretch break. Yeah, in about a minute here. Appreciate everyone hanging out. I know I've been consistently inconsistent the last week or so streaming. I'm still trying to change my work schedule so that we can stream later for longer. Probably isn't going to happen this month, but I'm hoping real soon. Hoping next month I'll free up some more time for streaming and dev at a more respectable hour. Go longer. I really want to be streaming. I really want my dev sessions to be like 3 or 4 hours, not like 2 hours. Not like an hour and a half or 2 hours. All right. We've got ads. I'll be back in like 3 to 4 minutes. I really appreciate everyone hanging out, and hang tight. All right, we're back. Thanks for waiting. All right, so that's the source IDs. Now we need to work on atlas coords, and that's the more complicated thing. So the axis tells us whether we need the alt tile or not. We need to figure out what we're going to draw if the door type is invalid. We need to draw something. Otherwise, I'm not going to know where the invalid doors are. Let's think about that. Let's write out the atlas coords thing first. And then we'll just add the logic for the invalid door, because that's a very simple binary thing. So if the dimension... Okay, we don't care about the dimension. We don't have this concept for the doors. What we care about is... Let's look at the tile set. So we care about whether we're the lower or upper section. So we'll say if door tiles coords dot type is oh, we have a door tile. Ah, that's the object we're creating, I see. These are binary things. I forget. These are bit flags, so I should actually treat them as such. And flag dot door dot single. So we'll say if it's a single door, we'll do one thing. If it's a double door, we'll do another thing. Should I just pull? Should I just say like, yeah, whatever, who cares? I don't mind indexing into the thing. So that's our structure. We check the type of the door first. Honestly, we could... Oh no, we're doing it this way. We're doing it this way. Big yawn. I should have gotten more sleep. I shouldn't have woken up so early. I'm not used to doing the early morning stream now. All right, all right. So we're doing some opposite block testing in the Atlas coords, which is fine. We're gonna do something similar. Why are we checking the hull again? Oh, we're checking a different type of object than we are, right? I think I pulled this code from the wall. So the code that I have is as if we were a wall. So let's keep that in mind. But we're not concerned about that. We're doing all of the validity testing up here. We don't need to worry about all that type testing stuff. Here we just say, here we're just curious. So if we're invalid, we'll just render the invalid thing and move on. If we're a single door, we'll figure out what our axis is. We'll say if door tiles. Yeah, I should just cache this variable. Door tile equals door tiles towards. So if door tile dot axis and flag dot axis dot x. Actually, do we care about that? We care about that only in the alt tiles, right? The directionality of it. Yeah, we don't care about that here. Yes. So here we just care about our hull type. So we'll have if door tile dot hull. So are we an outer or inner hull? We care about that. Is hull? Oh, part. We need to find part. Where's hull defined? Must be defined in the parent. Is it defined in ship layer? Extends hull layer. Oh, yeah, it's defined here. Okay. It's not a flag. I need to do that with a door type thing. I need to make it not a flag. Needs to be a characteristic of doors. To me, a flag is a bit flag, and it needs in it like that means you can have more than one of them. But maybe that's being overly constrained. Maybe that's not a connotation of flag at all. Maybe it's fine to have exclusive flags. Oh, this is super cute. Oh, it's Chipsol. Hey, Symbol, how's it going? How's it hanging? Getting ready for Ludum Dare. Been doing anything else lately? I'm asking. I wish I could get ready for Ludum Dare, but I'm not gonna be able to do it this time. What's new? All right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, so that's easy. We just check the hull. So we need to know the part. So this is where it gets complicated. We might as well record this. We're gonna go through the trouble of finding this information out. We should record it. Whether we're the lower or higher, whether we're the lower or upper part. I defined that up here, but honestly, I could probably define it as part of door. I want to refactor this a little bit so that we have a door class, and that class has some like static things like enum definitions. So you can just invoke door. I think that's how that works. So we're going to define this here. And then variable part is going to be a door tile dot part. Can I just say part? Okay, now we need to figure out what part of the door it is. Only if we're a double door. So for a double door, this is where we do some op block stuff. And this is where we... Okay, so we are interested in what our axis is. I should turn the music back down. Alright, so for a double door, we care about our axis. We want to see... Are we X? Or are we Y? And we know we're not invalid, so we know only one of these is going to be the case. No Ludum Dare taking a break from jams until the next solo dev. I don't know if that's much of a break. Isn't the next solo dev start at like the end of this month? Doesn't the next solo dev start in like 3 weeks or something like that? I'm a little surprised they're doing another one so soon, but I get that that was what the community wanted. That's too often for me. I don't know if I'm going to have time for another jam this year. Sad face. But yeah, jam break is good. Anytime I do a jam, it like occupies all my time for like a month, regardless of how long the jam is. And I need to just focus on the main project. I'm sure you feel similarly. All right, so we've got our axis. So we know, with our axis, we know whether we are... Okay, we just want to know the axis because that actually informs where we look for our neighbor. So we're going to say, so for x-axis, we'll look along the y, which is confusing, but I'm measuring axis in terms of the pathway of the door. So like how the door works. We're working on doors, by the way, today. Symbol, the most difficult concept in all of video games. We're getting doors added to our auto tiler. Why am I scrolling up? Here we go. Oh, I want that op block function. So let's grab these. those here. Grab the X ones. Move those here. All right, so we'll get the Y neighbors if we're an X-axis door, and we'll get the X-axis neighbors if we're a Y-axis door. Because we're trying to check if we're a double door, we need to figure out where our other half is. We need to figure out whether we're the lower or the upper component of this. So we'll say if pos Y dot, how are we doing that up here? Yeah, we want to know if our neighbor's a door. So we'll say if pos Y and flag dot door dot double. I don't want these to be flags. I need to rewrite this. This doesn't make sense. This needs to just be an enum that belongs to a door in the same way that a part belongs to a door. I don't want to rewrite it now though. I'll go through and clean it up at some other time. This will work as a flag at least. Oh, maybe I do like it as a flag. Oh no, we're not checking door, we're checking block. Block is a flag. So we say pos Y and flag dot block dot door. Block is a flag. Flag dot, that doesn't change what I said about, you know, the door type thing. It doesn't need to be a flag, but I forgot what we were doing. We're looking for doors. So we're gonna say, is the positive neighbor a door? Otherwise, we're gonna say, is the negative neighbor a door? Otherwise, we're gonna throw an error. Push error. Door at can't find its companion. Companion along this is door tile dot, oh no, this is just coords and door tile dot axis. No, that'll just give me a number. I don't actually want a number. All right. Door at coords can't find its companion is probably enough of an error. Expired popsicle is raiding with a party of 30. Oh my god, expired popsicle. Welcome in. Snack raid. I'm not prepared. We are not ready. Nor are we worthy. Assignment is not allowed. Oh. How's it going? How is the stream? Welcome in, raiders. Let me show you a little bit about what we're working on here. Neg X, negs Y is what we're working on here. All right, so I'm working on kind of an isometric, kind of FTL, faster than light kind of game. you're doing some 3D modeling. So we've kind of got this low pixel art stuff. I can't do 3D modeling. I can barely do pixel art, honestly. Everything I do is programmer art. All of this is all programmer art. Let me show you. We've got an auto tiling system. Thank you for the follow, Parza Realm. It's a stacked auto tiling system, so we can go up and down. We can go back up here, and we can basically build out ships. We have an auto tiling system that has a compartmentalization system, so you can see the colors change because we're building interior spaces. So we have an auto tiler with like a flood fill algorithm that can tell the compartments. So these light gray are interior compartments. Dark gray is like an entombed space that has like a floor or wall on the other side of it. And mid-tone gray is like outer space. So we've got a system to build spaceships. It's very rudimentary, and right now we can only do floors and walls. So what we're working on is adding our doors. So we have a couple different doors that I've animated. A single door, and we have a big double door, big blast door. And because we have an auto tiling system, I need to be able to draw doors in the auto tiler, and that is what we're working on. You're also a primary programmer, so you get it. Time to build a ship. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. I want to be able to paint out ship designs using this auto tiler that I made with a tile map layer. So I want to be able to, like, you know, I want to be able to throw down a room and then say, you know, I want to be able to paint a door here or paint a double door here and have that be an airlock, you know. So that's kind of what we're working towards. That's what we're working on right now. We've got a couple proxy tile sets, so we can place the doors in as if they were tile atlases, even though the actual doors are scenes, obviously, because they need to be able to animate. But while we're still editing them, I want to be able to just be working with proxies. So we're working on adding these to our tile map system. I appreciate that. Parts of the realm, you're saying it's awesome. The program art could be the basis of a randomized generator like roguelikes too. Yeah, it could. It could. I don't know about randomized, because the point of, I mean, it certainly could be randomized, but for me, the point of doing it this way is so that handcrafting all these different ships is like really easy. Because if I didn't have an auto tiler set up like this, I would have to be manually selecting these. And these have really complicated outline rules because I'm using hard outlines. So it would basically be impossible to design these levels, and get this kind of fidelity on the outlining if I didn't have a tool to assist me. So that's kind of why I've got the doing the way here. And also, so because we're doing an FTL-like, we're doing a space game, we also need this compartmentalization system. So we can tell what parts of the ship are on the outside and what are on the inside. So we can have like explosive decompression and stuff like that. And atmosphere stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that. Space game. Hey, Artist Synth. Welcome on in, Raiders. Gun Griffin, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. That's a pretty neat idea. Thank you. That kind of that keeps me going. Whenever people come in who have never seen it before and you're just like, wow, this isn't a pile of shit. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's still a pile, but at least it's not a pile of shit, right? It's a pile of parts. I admittedly just have a tool and not so much of a game right now, but this is kind of aesthetically the direction we're headed. This kind of pixel art, little dudes, little isometric Star Trek kind of designs. Very excited to add some three-dimensionality into some more complex ship designs to like the very well defined FTL formula. At first glance, it makes you think of Dwarf Fortress, but in space. That's also an incredible compliment. We're doing something. We're trying something that Dwarf Fortress didn't do, rightly so. We're trying to have objects that occupy more than one tile, like this double door. So that's going to be a little scary. And there's definitely going to be some difficulty involved in that, which is part of what we're coding out right now. Because in Dwarf Fortress, even if you're fighting a dragon, the dragon's still like one tile, right? That way everything takes up a single tile. So we're breaking that convention a little bit, which is kind of scary, but I think we'll be okay. Famous last words. I don't have 20 years to make this game, I'll tell you that though. Dwarf Fortress, that's good. Nice one, Cubus. But yeah, so what we're doing, we're working our way through here. So we've got this. We want to copy this over down here. So if, and then we need to change the variable names. So we do a bunch of bit flag checking to figure out what door is where. And now we're just finishing that part up and determining which Atlas coords, like which tile info we need to draw the correct, because the double door, like the single door is easy. We just have a single door that we can just draw here. But the double door is harder because we need to know which part of the door we're talking about, because there's a lower part and an upper part. And so we're working on that. Let's add one more error down here. We're gonna say else push error door at can't find or is undefined. No, here. I'll add the rest of the errors later. We don't need errors. What we do still need is an invalid door sprite, because we can have an invalid door and we don't have a way of drawing it right now. I'm thinking either a bright yellow or like a bright magenta kind of door. I was like mocking one up earlier. Not sure what I want though. Is it here? Thought I saved it. Oh yeah. Thought we could do something like this, but this looks like too normal. Maybe. We could also switch to a high visibility to high saturation palette for the invalid door. We basically want the equivalent of like a bright, like this could be good. This music's a little loud. Excuse me, 1 second. Yeah, source error and source engine error decal. Exactly, Gun Griffin. We need something like that. So I don't know. This was one idea I had. Do like this. We could also do like the purple version. Like the magenta block. Because I feel like this, I'm unlikely to ever use anything like this. This is probably what I'll go with. The big bright magenta block. That's a little too purple. This is my own color palette, and it's kind of trash. I didn't really do the ramps very well. Kind of maybe too many hues. And there's only 4 color ramps, but That's what we're trying to do. We do have a low saturated version. So yeah, maybe it'll be this. So let's hold on to this for a minute. We need this and also the split version of it. So we could make this bigger. No, not what I wanted to do. I want to change the canvas size. And we just split up the parts of it, I guess. Our tile map layers are really complicated, so I'm having to split these out. We actually do some really crazy stuff with the tile map layer here. There's actually a separate layer for each of these things. So like this is 6 tile map layers in one. There's a layer for the left wall, there's a layer for the right wall, there's a layer for the floors, and there's 3 more layers for... Actually, there's 3 more layers for the floors. So the floor has 3 for each face, and the walls have 3 for each face. And it's so I can render different faces on each side if I need to, like for these hidden areas, without having these crazy combinatorics. So we actually have like a ton of layers, so I need to split it up so we can render every side of the face. Because I tried doing that where you just had a single block for everything, and we ended up with something like this, which was just like a horrible nightmarescape. We ended up with like a combinatoric explosion of like all the different kinds of tiles that you can have with different outlines. This sort of thing. Don't ask me why I spent time diagramming this. I think it was just to convince myself how insane it was. But you can see all of these have different outlines, outline combinations. And that's not even considering, this is just the combinatorics of the outlines. There's also the different hull type combinations to take into account. So yeah, we've addressed this insane explosion of combinations by just breaking it up into the smallest pieces possible. And that's why we have like 6 tile map layers per level of the ship. Tile map layer is the best though. I encourage anyone to switch over to 4.3 and start using tile map layer if they're doing isometric stuff. It's really good. It's much more usable than the old tile map. All right, so carry on here. Drawing K-maps for tiles. Hadn't thought of that before. That's a term I'm not familiar with. Table-like representation and gives more information than the table. Oh, Carnot map. Oh, this is cool. I'm gonna bookmark this. Read more about this later. Comp sci thing, yeah. I mean, I have a book over like on my bookshelf that's like this thick and is all about like multi-dimensional data structures. I've read like 1 chapter about like B trees, and I was like, I'm good. I'm okay. That's part of why I love streaming this. I get so much, I get so much knowledge gets dropped on me that I had never considered or had no idea existed. All right, so where are we? Restate our assumptions here. So we've got, based on what axis, along which axis we are, we know which our neighbor is. And so if one of these neighbors is, so we can tell what type of door we are. We're trying to determine at this point what part of the door we are, whether we're the upper or lower section of the door. If we're a double door, so if our positive Y neighbor is a door, then at least for this camera angle, we've got multiple camera angles we're eventually going to support, which is part of why this is so insane. Then we are the upper part of the door. Okay. Is that something I should just define here? Is that something I can define here? I could. I don't think I want to. Yeah, we're not checking for directionality here, so let's not worry about that. Let's just do it down here. We'll say door tiles chords equals dot part equals part door tile dot part dot we're the upper. Yeah, I want to restructure how we do all of this stuff with enums. Otherwise, we're the lower. Then we do the same thing here, but we flip it, maybe? No, it's the same. If the positive one is a door, we're the upper. If the negative one is a door, then we're the lower. Okay, so we know our part, whether we're the upper or lower part of it. Hey, I Heart Pandas, welcome back. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't stream last week. My partner was sick, so I need to take care of her and let her sleep and stuff because I stream early in the morning for my time zone. And then yesterday I was ready to stream, and I rebooted my computer as I usually do before I stream, just so I don't have any weird OBS issues, which I occasionally seem to have if I don't reboot for a while. And my computer wouldn't boot, and I flashed the BIOS, and I did all sorts of stuff, and I ended up just having to get a new couple of sticks of RAM that were more compatible with my setup. But we're back, and better than ever. All right. So we've got our door part assigned. Oh, so we're assigning the door part, and we need to set the atlas coords in the same breath here. So we're going to say atlas coords. And does this affect, this affects our X. So we're going to say, so if we're the upper portion, we just say door dot, or we just say atlas coords dot z dot x equals 2. Yeah, and don't love just hard coding it like this, but that's what we're gonna do for now. Bummer, but a good excuse to get new parts. You went to jump in your car yesterday and your alternator's busted. Oh, that's not good. That's more serious than just RAM sticks not working. That's for sure. All right, so we're assigning the x-axis atlas coords. We don't need to worry about the y-axis because we're actually not going to need this lower row of doors until we start doing camera rotations, which we will do, and we're actually pretty much able to accommodate it. I just need to introduce the concept of a directional like vector 2 that we can you know, reflect everything against. When we're drawing it, which is why we spent all that time making like a canonical representation of all the tile blocks outside of the rendering representation. So that way the rendering representation can be inferred and like interpolated and everything. It's why you separate your concerns. It's why you separate gameplay or game state from rendering people. I know Godot makes it really easy to smash it all together, but it's really good to separate those concerns. So that if there's a change to the rendering system, the game system doesn't really care. All right, so we've set our X to an extent. We need to determine what our hull is. We can do that. We can say plus equal to. Because it starts as 0, and this way we can just add the hull stuff here. That's easy. We might as well put this at the end. So if the hull is the inner hull, then we add 1. Yeah, we add 1. We don't even need the else, actually. We just say atlas chords dot x plus equals 1. Really close. I feel like we're really close to being able to draw some doors. We can get rid of all of this because we don't use any of that. That's it for atlas chords. Let me make sure the single doors works the same way. It does, right? For single door, y-axis is the flip. Actually, for both of them, y-axis is the flip. I need a different word for that. I called them flipped, but I should call it something else because flip H is something else than the kind of flip I'm describing. I'm describing the flip of like looking at something from like a different camera angle. Should come up with another word for it. All right, and then alt tiles is easy. Alt tiles is alt tile. Okay, we don't get to do it like this. We're not using the dimension. Here we're saying tile ID is that alternative tile is it's going to be 1 if door tile chords dot axis if the axis is x. It's only if it's y. If door tiles dot axis and flag dot axis dot y evaluates to flag dot axis dot y, else 0. We get rid of this. That's easy, super easy. Basically, we're just saying we're the alternative tile if we're the flip H version of the tile. We save it on tile map space by just making it the alt tile. And then set tile cells, we just use the information we already have. Why? Tile IDs dot set cell. Okay, we've offloaded that logic here. And it just does it. Just does it for us. That's fine. So in theory, this will work. The question is, do I have this actually as part of our scene architecture here? Have I actually incorporated that into this scene? So a starship consists of a hull stack. The hull stack consists of 6 levels. And then each level consists of 6 layers. So no, I do not have a door layer yet. So that needs to be added. I am just going to... No, I can't duplicate it. What I need to do... Is there a door layer scene? There better be. There's a door layer script. Why isn't there a door layer scene yet? So we'll make a new inherited scene. We'll call it a door layer. Its block type is door. Its layer number doesn't matter. Its dimension doesn't matter. Its Z index should be the same as the wall layer. The Z index wall layer is 2. I think that's it as far as unique things here. That all looks good. So we just save this. Environment, hull stack, deck level, hull layer, door layer. So we've got a door layer. Now we just need to add a door layer to the deck layer. Door layer. Its layer number is 6. I'm going to snooze the ads. So we're going to need to wrap it up in the next five minutes or so. So I don't know. We're going to make one attempt to see if we can get the doors if the doors just work out of the box here. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. It's like pretty crucial. Layer count changes to 7. Part of the reason of having this big inherited stack is so that I can make a change in one place and it's reflected across everything that I have. So if I've done that correctly, okay, there we go. So that's still... Oh. I need to open this. Wall layer. You were a wall by default. There we go. You're a door by default. And you have the door layer script? No. So I need to change the script that I have on here. That's the script that I want. All right, I think that's it. Layer count 7. Deck count is 6. All right, as long as I didn't like hard code anything in here, which I almost certainly did. As long as everything derives from these export variables, we should be good. What might not work is the drawing. Oh, look at this. It's doing something. What if I draw? Okay, so that won't work because we need to put walls around. So let's make one here, and let's make another here. And let's try to draw some walls. Okay, so they're being placed, but they're not figuring out. Okay. Okay, so the flip is working. So it knows which side it's on. But it's not doing really anything else. It's not It's also not, its default source ID is wrong. I would expect it to default it to the single door. All right, well, we're probably not going to be able to tackle that today. That's probably going to be a figure this out tomorrow problem. Let's see who's around here. Sorcery Story just started. Oh, NanoDev just started. NanoDev is playing Jern Jam entries. Oh, that sounds fun. Let's go hang out with NanoDev. They're gonna play. Yeah, Parse the Realm. It's the angle. The direction is correct. Like the door sees which direction it should be rendering. But it's not distinguishing between single or double doors, and it's not picking the part of the double door and rendering that. It's only working on the tile preview. Once I place the door, it becomes invisible, which is problematic, but that's fine. That's too big a thing to be able to just plug in and just have it work immediately. There's some little thing with the build settings that I don't have with the build controls, but we'll figure it out. I believe we'll be able to figure it out tomorrow. But yeah, if no one's checked out NanoDev before, they're pretty great. I think they just finished the Jern Jam, and so they're playing some Jern Jam games, which I was curious to see. And let's hang out with them. But I appreciate everyone coming around. Expired Popsicle, thank you so much again for the raid. Can I just shout out? Oh, I broke the raid, did I? You all too. Oh no, I've still got the raid going. Okay, we're raiding. 10 seconds. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We're out. Yeah, every weekday around the same time. Sorry for the rush. I gotta go to work. All right, let's get to it. Let's yeah. All right, I seem to have broken the raid thing, unless it's just gonna happen now. Apparently shouting someone out while raiding broke the interface. I'm gonna try it again. All right. Oh, unless we already did the raid. We might have already done the raid.